It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Let Bishop David G.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, coming to you live every Saturday morning, worldwide, Eastern Time, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Such an honor for us to have the opportunity to serve you again, to have conversation with you, dialogue, talk beneath the surface, but always from a kingdom perspective as it relates to your faith, politics, culture, religion, sports, any event or any move in society, any shift in society that is impacting to your life, we approach it. Nothing is withheld, but it's always from a kingdom Christian perspective. So if you enjoy that kind of conversation, won't you please share with someone at this time, inbox a few people, tag a few folk, and ask them to join the conversation here on OnPointe. Our call-in numbers are 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. You can give us a call toll-free worldwide here on OnPointe today. Of course, my partner in crime, as always, is here. Reverend Nicholas A. Smith, Executive Pastor, Bethany Church, has joined us once again. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. I'm doing the company line.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Should have drank some coffee and Red
Yeah,
Bull.
I thought about some coffee this morning, but I just don't know. Seems to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
I understand for those football fans, this weekend holds a very interesting game, and
Eagles?
that Tampa's going up to New England,
Yeah.
which means Brady goes back to his old team.
Yep.
And what is your prognostication on the outcome?
Buccaneers going to blow them out.
You think the Buccaneers are going to blow them out?
Yeah, Buccaneers are too strong of a team.
Okay.
The Patriots are in a transition.
Transition?
Yeah. I think Belichick's going. I mean, I'll never count Belichick out
Yeah.
defensively
Okay.
to put some stuff up.
Okay.
Offense isn't that strong.
Okay.
And Tampa Bay's defense is strong and their offense is strong. So it's going to be.
Is it correct football wisdom to expect that Belichick knows the weaknesses of Brady and knows how to defend against them?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I would never count him out defensively.
Okay.
Problem is, again, their offense isn't that good.
Okay.
Patriots offense.
Okay.
Rookie quarterback. He's still learning.
Okay.
So you got to something's going to break eventually.
Okay.
So you got Tampa Bay's good on both sides.
All right.
New England's only good really
Defensively.
So eventually it's going to break.
So you're looking for Tampa Bay to win by how much?
I'd probably give them 14 points.
Just 2 scores?
Yeah, I'd probably give them 2 scores. Because you never know what's going to happen in NFL. I give it 14 to 20, 14 or 21. That's the most I'll give them.
Yeah, I've in all these years, not a real big fan of New England,
Yeah.
but I have never seen Belichick fold at a critical game.
Yeah. Oh, he does it.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know if it's the proper phrasing now.
Okay.
But Kraft, the owner, called Belichick an idiot savant. I don't know if you're supposed to say that now.
Idiot savant. Okay, yeah, I understand what that meant.
Yeah.
What he meant. That wasn't an insult.
Yeah, I didn't. But I knew certain terms now are
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
acceptable.
Yeah, but he's, yeah,
Yeah, he's
brilliant and he's different.
Yeah, I wonder if he's a dang it, that word it'll come to me.
Okay.
They don't have good social skills, but highly intelligent.
Okay.
Asperger's.
Asperger's. Yes.
Asperger's. I wonder if Belichick has a form of that, because he has like a classic signs of.
Yeah, the spectrum
know.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a smart guy when it comes to football,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and his memory is prodigious.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
He's a mastermind.
we said years ago that everyone has been created. Everything God ever made was created to be a genius in its assigned environment,
Yeah.
and it's obvious that's his assigned environment.
Yeah, and he thrives in it. He's good at it. I think once they get it, the people talk trash. The Buccaneers loaded up their team
Okay.
to help Brady, so
Good.
that's why they won the Super Bowl last year.
They who won last year?
Tampa Bay did.
Did they?
Yeah,
That's right. They did.
Yeah, that's why they won. They loaded that team up.
Well, they knew he was going to need help
Yeah,
at his
they need
age.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Patriots didn't load up like the Buccaneers did, so of course they'd have a better team.
Do you think
I mean,
you think that the Patriots have a egotistical dependence on their system?
Yes.
And thought that regardless.
Yes. Buccaneers spent the money to get the people. Patriots don't usually do that.
Okay.
They very rarely sign a big free agent. They do draft. They slow build.
Okay.
Over the years, they just keep adding
Okay.
for long term.
Because they think that their parts are interchangeable, of course.
Yes.
They figure they bring in a guy, you may not have heard of him, but if he fits into our system,
He'll do good.
it'll work. And that's worked for them.
And it's worked for them for a long time. So,
But in this era of free agents,
yeah.
do you think New England would have to start mixing in some high performers in the system so they could maintain the winning percentages they like to have?
If you want to do win now.
Okay.
If you want to do win now, like they signed, I think, 2 big name people, but that's rare for them.
Okay.
But everybody's in the win now. So if I win this season and I lose the next 4 or 5, fine, as long as I win the one. Versus Belichick is looking at how can we win
Well, most of
4 years down the line and keep it going.
most of the venerable owners are really looking to win more than one game.
Yes.
They want to win one, but they would like to win, 3 out of the next 5 seasons.
Yes.
Go to playoffs every season.
Absolutely.
That kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and just keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's into, we got this window, let's take it and run with it. That's what the Eagles did. They got their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then they start signing a bunch of old players that couldn't really get it in like they did.
Really?
Yeah. And you got a team majority over 30 and over. I'm not saying 30 is old. Football, 30 is old.
You just did say it. Yeah, you said 30 is old.
At football, 30 years old.
So for football, you be old now?
Yeah, I'll be old as I mean, once you hit like 30, 31, you're considered old football.
Yeah. Unless you're some kind of rare specimen that,
like Russell Wilson,
yeah,
Brady,
those guys.
Adrian Peterson, and
Yeah.
them. But outside of that, Well, it should be. I know the Eagles are going to lose tomorrow, so it's.
They are?
They're playing the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
Then you play the Buccaneers like the following week. It's going to be.
Are they coming here?
I think so.
Oh, Pastor Nick, don't tell me that.
I got to look at the schedule.
I'm getting ready to break your heart. I didn't realize they were coming here.
Let me see. Let me see.
It's a home game?
Yeah, it's a home game Thursday the 14th. Yep. 8:20.
Thursday?
Yeah.
What time?
8:20 p.m. Buccaneers, the Eagles, yeah. Thursday, 8:20.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be here in Philly?
In Philly, yep. Yep.
I'm going to call Chris. But we ain't going. We're not getting out there in that crowd.
I saw the thing. I was like, we could go, but I was like,
I know I could get us at least 2.
I know you could.
I could get us at least 2.
But
we're not going out there in that crowd.
I wouldn't do it.
We got the best seat in the house. That's television.
Yes. Not now.
Not in the middle of COVID. No.
No.
But we could go.
Oh yeah.
It would be. Now we might not be sitting on the Eagles side, but we could get some through.
It's the Eagle Stadium. You got Eagles all around, so it don't matter.
We could get some through Mahone for sure.
Yeah, but I wish I can go to a game this year, but it's just not.
It's just not practical.
It's not.
No. No.
And it just where everybody's outside, but not every game's outside.
Shoulder to shoulder.
But thank you. You're.
Let's not get into that debate. Keisha's on the phone from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Welcome, Keisha. How are you today?
I'm good, Bishop. Hi, Pastor Nick.
Good morning.
How you doing? What's your comment today?
I just want to tell you that all the videos I be watching on Facebook. I get a whole lot out of it. But I love the recaps because on Mondays, because I'm like I'm following the page, and I just want to say, I'm not gonna hold you up too long because I got something to do today.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to say, I just want to ask you, okay, on October the 22nd, I will be 52 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom passed 3 days before my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been, October 19th this year will be 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I know she didn't leave me, but she's always with me, right?
In your heart, yes, ma'am. In your heart, yes.
Because I know in my heart she's always with me.
Absolutely.
Because last year I heard this voice, and I got kind of, I'm like, wait a minute. Ain't nobody in my house calling me.
Yeah.
And I had went upstairs, and my mother always used to say happy birthday to me at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, God, that's her. That's her. I knew it. It woke me up. I'm like, oh, my God, that's my mom right there. Yeah, but God has given me more strength because even though my mom and my sister passed away, and I'm the only child left, but I just thank God, for his strength and, and just holding on to his word.
Well, one of the things.
Sometimes it's hard because I'm the only child that she had. Well, I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest child.
I understand.
But.
Well, let me help you with that.
Okay.
You remember the story of Job, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, modern day Christians, we have developed language for when our people pass away, our loved ones pass away, and we tend to use the word lost. I lost my mom, I lost my dad. But you remember Job and how he went through that trial, and at the end of that trial, that the Lord blessed him with double of everything except for the children. And the reason he did not double the children back to Job was because the children were not lost in God's eyes. They were with him.
Right.
So when you think of mom, you want to think her of being with him, but also in your heart.
Right.
And don't expect for this to make emotional sense to you. It'll make intellectual sense, but it will not make emotional sense to you, because you're not going to get over your mother, and you should not get over her. So
Right.
what you do is you get through this, okay? And God has given you the gift of grief in order to get from the shock of her passing away to accepting the fact, not agreeing with it, but accepting
Right.
the fact that she is going to be with the Lord. So she's not lost, she's with God, and she's in your heart, okay?
Okay, I will remember that.
All right, daughter. I'll talk to you
All right.
soon.
Thank you, Bishop.
All right, bye-bye now.
You have a blessed day.
You too, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. Give us a call. This is On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. So, Pastor Nick, the debt ceiling and the infrastructure bill. What I don't understand is why our politicians, and in this context, the Republicans, have forgotten that the Democrats came along with them to raise the ceiling when they were in the majority. They've forgotten that completely. But also, why they are playing a game of chicken when they know full well if they allow this thing to lapse, the people that support them are going to go bonkers. The business community does not want this to happen.
Yep. Especially not during the pandemic.
So I don't know why they're posturing like they're going to let it go.
Yeah. They do that all the time. Don't
It's
they?
ridiculous.
And then the Democrats, a few Democrats on the that are trying to block it too, and the lady from Arizona,
Cinema, Christian
her.
Cinema.
Yeah, her. She
Yeah.
seems a little
Whacked.
yeah.
Yes.
From
Yes.
the door, just
Whacked. I don't get it. I don't know why they don't mind playing games with the national consciousness, and I resent that.
yeah, I do too.
I resent that.
It seems like the American people are third on the list. Them, their interests,
And then maybe getting reelected, getting reelected, getting reelected are the top three interests of the politician.
right.
Then
Yeah.
that blends with their interests, then their agenda,
Yep.
those that help them, and then the American people.
Yep. Yeah, we're like low on the totem
Yeah,
pole.
like 5 or 6.
Yeah, like that. I would honestly respect them if they just didn't. They stopped fronting like they cared.
Well,
just be
yeah,
honest and
yeah.
just say this is
we
business,
don't
this is
care.
politics.
Yeah,
we don't care.
We don't care.
I wouldn't like it, but I would respect it.
Yeah, and I also think that most people don't know, and they're not talking about this much. This infrastructure bill is a 10-year program.
Yep.
So we're talking millions of dollars a year instead of trillions of dollars a year. Most people don't know that because they're not talking about it, and I don't think the Democrats are talking about it enough.
No, they're not.
We're talking about a 10-year program, and I think this is a down to legacy. I don't think the Republicans want Biden to be responsible for something that we've needed and that they've blocked
Yeah.
for the past 15 or
Oh
20
no,
years.
they don't know. No, their goal is to make sure he fails, with the hopes that
But
Trump
the
or somebody
people
can run.
suffer.
Low under the totem pole.
The national debt is where it is because of the previous administration.
Yep.
They spent more in 4 years than some did in 20.
Yep. And the whole tax cuts knocked it all. And I talked to some. I'm like, yo, y'all, you wanted these tax cuts, but where did they cut the spending at? And like you say, there is no new money being printed. So
the cash register are income taxes. That's how the money comes into the system. Income tax. So you cut income tax, that means you're cutting the inflow. So it means your debt starts to rise. It's like in your house. If you take a 30% cut in income and you don't slash everything else in the house, the debt just keeps going up.
Yeah. But again,
it's simple.
I think for them, they're fiscally responsible when they're not in office. When they're not in charge.
I would agree.
But then all of a sudden when they're in charge,
100%.
Then
it's we can spend. Then it's a good use of funds.
Good use of funds. Yeah,
good use of funds.
We can spend $1 million a month on war, but we ain't got no money for education.
Is something wrong with Alabama? Why are you going to take COVID funds and use them to build new prisons?
I think.
What are the people in Alabama saying about this?
I think that falls in their law and order platform.
Yeah, but COVID's running rampant down there.
I know. And more people in that what we call Trump country now are dying. They're worried about elections. How you worry about elections? Most of the people down there are sick. Some are dying. I mean, it's
because they don't care. You just said it.
They don't care.
And now Florida's working on a Texas-type abortion bill. You can help me with this. We may know an equal amount of Republican friends, especially in the faith.
Yeah.
Do Republicans have any sensitivity at all that this type of issue, this assault, can turn a female voter against the party?
Yeah, from that side, yes. Yeah. Problem is that they have a lot of females that agree with them on that one side.
That people should be. I thought about something that you helped me with weeks ago, and I don't even know if you knew you helped me with it.
I don't know.
We were having a pro-life discussion, and you brought out pro-fetus.
Yeah.
That made perfect sense to me, because you can be pro-fetus and not necessarily be pro-life.
Yep.
So what we're actually seeing is people that are pro-fetus, but then once you're born, we don't give a darn about you. We'll shoot you down in the street. We'll starve you to death. We'll whip you with horse reins because we are not pro-life.
Not pro-life at all. Yep. They are pro-fetus, and a lot of those in that. I mean, look how many women voted for Trump. I mean, record numbers. Even just this past one. So they have a big block of them that go along with this. Again, the problem is you keep pushing these limits, and we're pro-life movement too. We are not advocating killing babies
all the way.
But they're going to continue doing this stuff, and they're going to continue to make this far left crowd start to stand up, make some more noise, and
I don't know who's driving the bus for these guys.
Yeah.
And then we're men, but I have a distinct problem with men making decisions and there are no women in the room.
Yep. Totally agree.
I've got a problem with that.
Totally agree.
How do you decide what's right for women and you don't have any women in the room?
Absolutely.
And then how do you have these birth conversations, and if you do have a woman in the room, she's had her kids and got grandkids, she ain't getting ready to do it no more.
Yep. And she agrees with you. Yeah.
I don't know.
When are we going to put some responsibility on the men too? Because a woman can't get pregnant by herself.
No, she doesn't.
And you don't hear a lot about birth. I guarantee you, somebody could probably make some form of birth control for a man, but ain't nobody gonna put that in place because all the men in charge are gonna say, "No, that's not."
But they got permanent stuff for guys.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're talking about this because I think this week begins the first 10 Times Better Woman. Is it this week?
Next Sunday. Yeah, we got communion tomorrow.
And it's ironic that we're talking about this because the first one is talking about the daughters of Zelophehad actually challenging culture, challenging cultural norms, taking a stance not just for themselves but for women, as it relates, and how God has birthed women in this time to challenge those norms.
Yeah.
But it's not just because the daughters of Zelophehad were female. It's because their cause was right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The Bible says that God told Moses, they have spoken right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's we delve into this whole overcomer, game changers mission that a lot of ladies don't realize they have as part of their creative assignment down here on earth.
Yeah. And a lot of them are starting to come through businesses.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they did the whole study. Less men are going to college, more women are going and graduating, which is a concern for me. You know, I mean, I'm not saying college is the be all end all.
It's a necessary part of the equation.
It's a big part of the
equation.
most people. For most people, yeah. But I'm learning more that Southern culture. That there's like a sexual view that's kind of tainted, it's ingrained in them from when they're young. Like women are just baby factories. Oh, that old school kind of. Yeah. You know, you just hear
But you know,
these babies raise
we've talked
kids
about it before. They like a lot of kids, but they don't like to talk about how they made them.
Thank you. And they're so repressed publicly with sexualities. But they're the biggest freaks
but
behind closed doors.
Got 6, 7 kids in the family.
Right.
They're not getting there by osmosis. Right. You know, they ain't tossing and turning in their sleep. I mean, come on.
Yeah. All these sexual assault things going on, that's from that real conservative social,
absolutely
base.
Absolutely.
Obviously, something's going on. A lot of them I met, they seem so angry and frustrated. I think because they're so repressed and can't be real about how they feel.
I think it's unnatural for my evangelical colleagues that I know, and my set is older than your set is, but it's the same thing, Pastor.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm looking at these guys. Most of them had 3, 4 kids apiece, and they act like sexuality is like the most heinous thing to even admit.
Right. Yep. Yeah. But
and they've got to be passing that repression down to their kids.
Absolutely. People have done studies. In the 90s, like early 2000s, there was that big purity movement with youth. Yep. And now coming up, it's not that purity teaching is wrong. How they taught it was bad. Yeah. That purity movement, and it did more damage to some people than good because of how it was taught. Okay. So they would teach things like, ladies, make sure you always dress covered up because you don't want to tempt a man into touching you or doing wrong. Okay. So it's always the girl's fault.
So they didn't teach the man any responsibility.
No responsibility. Okay. And it was more of a repressive style rather than management of your feelings.
And what happened in the African American tradition back in the day was they spiritualized that same thing. Yeah. They would bring the young lady up in front of the church, tell her to apologize in front of the entire church, but never brought the young man up in front of the church.
Right.
So they spiritualized it, made it a spiritual event, but it still was the same repression.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know any better. Yeah. I'm a little boy sitting in church watching this go on. Yeah. I leaned over to my grandma and said, "Where's the guy?" Right. Hush up, boy.
Because they knew.
Man, come on, man.
They knew it was messed up.
I mean, as a little kid, I said, I thought it took 2 people to do that.
Right.
Why she getting,
Right.
When we got home, she told me about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the way, something ain't right.
But let's think about it. The way we raised our girls versus our boys. Yeah. Our boys. The girls, protect yourself, be virtuous, don't nobody touch you. Boys, don't get a girl pregnant. That was the most that a lot of guys were told.
Wow.
Don't get a girl pregnant. Just don't come home with no babies. Her restriction, so on, so. It's that whole boys will be boys thing.
Man, they didn't play that in my family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We didn't. We were a wild bunch. But I can't think of too many pre-marriage conceptions.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't think of too many.
Okay.
Now I was guilty of one.
Yeah.
But most of the guys knew.
You better not do it.
Not what Albert Prince was living.
Right.
no, man.
But that's what we needed more. I remember when
responsibility on our side.
Yeah. I remember when Noel Jones came and did that whole explanation of how girls and boys are raised. I'll never forget that.
Okay.
And taught how most boys aren't taught character traits like girls.
Absolutely.
So we teach, and people have said this foolishness. They teach girls how not to get raped or not be sexually assaulted, but not teaching the boys, keep your hands off to yourself.
That's right.
To me, it's simple.
I think it's elementary.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just, if you allow yourself to be influenced by the culture,
Yeah.
you'll teach that biased nonsense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we've always taught each party has responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't come in here and tell me you got taken advantage of 30 times. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Not when you, like the Bill Cosby thing, you keep purposely going
No,
over.
no.
Now, I'm not talking about the ones when he did it.
No.
But, the consenting ones.
Yeah.
You can't.
We don't teach responsibility.
Yeah.
And we need to teach responsibility so that it doesn't feel like it's a license to do something.
Yes.
Let's go to Robin. Is this Robin calling for the first time from Delaware? Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good morning, Bishop. How are you?
Welcome to OnPointe.
Good morning, Pastor Nick. How are you?
Hi.
I can't believe Bishop said you was old.
I'll be 40 this year.
No,
so
I know,
I said
but
for a
Pastor
football
Nick,
player.
you could still pass for in your 20s. I'm
No, I
saying that
can't.
not because I love you, but
No, I
you
can't.
really could still pass for your 20s.
He said no, he can't.
Look at all this gray I got.
It don't matter with the gray. And Bishop, I was with a friend of mine. I was showing, we was talking about church, and I showed her a picture. And I was saying, you be 70 in January. And she's like, no, he won't. He looks so young and good. I said, I know.
It's true.
It's true. I
you
said,
don't
I
look
know.
like
You know, we know black don't crack.
It's them jeans, God.
Yeah.
It's them jeans.
Them jeans, good jeans.
And the hand of God.
Yep.
That's right, the hand of God. But I have two questions. I'm going to put them together.
Okay. Lord have
So
mercy.
that way,
Right.
then
That's
I'll
historic.
be done.
Right.
That's historic. Go ahead.
It's like a slew of questions in
So
one.
then you can answer. But first, I want to say, I want to give congratulations to Lonnie Hunter. He won the Praise Factor Awards. He won all three categories. The MC for the McDonald's celebration host, the host for the Reach Gospel radio station, and also the TV host.
Wonderful.
So congratulations
Wonderful.
to our
Good.
Minister Lonnie Hunter.
Good.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, representing Bethany. Yes, he is.
Amen.
But, and Pastor Nick, this month, October,
Yes.
would have been the volunteer dinner.
Yes.
We were saying, I had a surprise for you.
Okay.
I was going to sing Anita Baker song for
Oh,
you.
my. Oh, my.
Wow.
I'm glad we're
Wow.
not having
right.
a banquet.
Thank you. Like, wow. You messed my song up.
Don't quit your day job, girl.
Right.
Oh, Lord. Okay, here's my questions.
That wasn't it?
Right.
No, that
Come
was
on,
the
Rob.
comment.
Now you eating
Here's
up
the
airtime.
question.
Come
I'm putting
on.
them together. Okay. When a woman has an abortion,
Mm-hmm.
does the spirit goes back to God, and does God send that fetus to another woman? Your opinion. And then the next question is, you have to look this up, Pastor Nick. I'm kind of confused on 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 26.
Okay, I'll answer the first one while
First
he's
Kings
looking it
13:26.
up. Yeah.
Yes.
Spirit goes to the Lord.
Okay.
Fetus does not go to another woman.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
You got it, Pastor Nick?
Now when the prophet had brought him back from the way he heard it, he said, is the man of God who was disobedient to the word of the Lord, therefore the Lord had delivered him to the lion, which has torn him, killed him.
Right.
Oh, so I think that's when the prophet, if I remember the story correctly, the prophet was going to do something he wasn't supposed to do, and God let a lion come to eat him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, whew.
Basically.
Thank God for Jesus.
Right.
For real.
Them children usually soften a dad up.
Right,
You know that?
Right.
Oh, Lord. Thank God for Jesus. That softened him up just a little bit. All right, Robin, thank you for calling.
All right, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, talk to you.
Okay, y'all have a blessed one. Love you.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. We're going to Ava in Utica, New York. Hey, Ava, how you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Ava.
Girl, we so tired, we crazy, but we here.
Yep.
Listen, I hear you. I wanted to call because you're talking about here, Ajane, watch this corned beef hash. I wanted to call. To talk to
You're such a black mom. You're a black mom. You are a black mom for sure. Just.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm sorry. The sizzling sounded like it was distracting me from talking.
I
Right.
understand.
Listen, so I was talking. You were talking about how no one ever taught the boys, you know, keep your hands to yourself. And I was thinking that I see a lot of parents out here, and a lot of them are raised up in single parent, single mother households. You would assume that the mother would relay that to the sons, but it's not the case. You know what I mean? You would assume that because it's a woman with a guy that they would press that, keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. It's almost like the behavior of males is acceptable.
Yep.
And I think that is part of this systemic or cyclic problem that we have in our community. That responsibility has to be taught, and I think it will begin very slowly to change the landscape as it relates to behavior. And we have to stop glorifying and glamorizing these things also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got to just call a spade a lot of the times. I noticed that when you have your girls, a lot of times, you know, especially, like I said, coming from these single-parent households, the women are always like, you got to go up, you got to get a job, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But then the son stays mommy's baby until he like 85.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Make a ton of excuses.
So
they tend to be harder on the girls
Right.
and give the guys a pass.
Absolutely.
Right.
And what you do, you raise a slug.
Yep.
Right. And I have 4 girls and 2 boys in my house. So I had to get on my one daughter because I don't carry groceries. That's first of all. When I pull up, I get out the car. I might grab the loaf of bread, Bishop. You hear what I said? Man.
Well, if you got six people living in the house,
Yeah.
they need to do something.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
they need to do all of it, right? So I
Shouldn't be
come
paying
in,
anybody
at
cut the
that point-
grass either.
Right.
Yeah, I don't do that either. So the boys come out, and they come to, my daughter's with me, the oldest one, you know, and she's trying to carry all the stuff. And I said, leave it in there. The boys are coming out to get it. They know when the van pulls up, let's go check to see if there's stuff we got to bring in.
Sure.
And she's like, I can carry it. I can do that. Da, da. And so we had to have a conversation right there. We didn't even get out the car. Because what I'm trying to understand is it's not about if you can do it. It's about, I know you can do it, because if you by yourself, you ain't going to have no choice. But why should you have to
Absolutely.
when you have your brother standing right here? They
Absolutely.
were built for that. Let them carry these cases of water in. Let them carry these sodas in. You go inside and you're going to help me put the stuff away.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's not something that was taught for her from me. So it must be something you just kind of pick up, because I'm all for. I ain't doing nothing. I point to everything.
Come on.
I dictate around here. You know what I mean? Like, you'll do this, you do that, and I'll check it when I get off work. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy that it's like that, and we have to talk about it all the time. Her brother will try to carry her books, and she's like, I don't need you to carry her books. Boy, get that boy them books. He want to carry it, let him carry it. Don't strain yourself.
It makes sense to me. But what it does, it builds a consciousness in him as a young man that he will carry into his manhood. The problem now is that societally, those types of actions are seen as somewhat discriminatory or
misogynistic.
Misogynistic. And what I'm finding, you know, we talked about this a couple years ago, that the women started complaining about, you know, don't hold the door for me, don't do this, don't do that, I don't need you to do that, I don't need you to do that. But that pendulum started swinging back the other way. You know, guys don't do this anymore, guys don't do that anymore, guys don't do this anymore, guys don't call you anymore, But the whole thing when the feminist thing hit was, I don't need your help.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of times people are jumping on board with the feminist thing, and that's not even how a lot of us was raised. You understand what I'm saying? I understand equal pay and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
I'm not opening no door. What's wrong with you? I'm not. There's certain things I shouldn't have to do. And again, it's not that you can't do it. My husband can put some braids in some hair, but why should he have to if I'm sitting right here?
I understand.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, if I'm on vacation, which I plan on doing very soon, because they're gonna kill me up in here. He might have to braid a couple heads, and I try to make sure it's done. I just feel like there's a balance, and people are like dragging one or the other side.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, yes, you can do it, but why should I have to?
I understand. Everybody's doing good?
Everybody's doing well. I try to keep them all alive, you know.
Yeah, please give them all my love, our love, and we look forward to seeing y'all.
I only got one awake right now, so I'll give her all the kisses, and then we'll think about the rest later when
they sleep
crawl
this
out
late?
the bed.
I know.
They sleeping this late?
What happened to turn the gospel music on in the house? Everybody clean up.
What happened to the chores and everything this morning?
Listen, Dad is heading chores. He said they got to go over, and there's a couple churches that they mow the lawns for around here. They're going to go do that today.
All right.
And he ain't up yet, so who am I?
All right, girl.
All right, thanks.
Talk to you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. This is On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. We're going to Angela from Kentucky. Hello, Angela. Angie. Angela? Let's say we can't get her back.
Yeah.
So, we surpassed 700,000 COVID deaths.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that saddens me is that's not enough for some people.
Yep. Yep.
That's almost 750,000 folk
Mm-hmm.
have died from COVID.
Yep. Yeah, and at the rate we're going, by the time I think this surpassed the swine flu, the flu in 1918.
Yeah.
The numbers are just passing every other one.
We won't behave, so it's going to keep increasing.
Yeah.
And the winter's coming, which means it's going to get worse.
Yeah. And I'm nervous about everybody getting together for the holidays.
It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a spike.
Last Thanksgiving, the same thing.
Yep.
You know, it spiked into December,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got together for Christmas, and it spiked into January,
Yep.
and it just keeps rolling along.
Yeah.
And hospitals are beginning to fire unvaccinated employees. You know it's serious
Mm-hmm.
when they're letting medical staff go.
Absolutely. When they need them.
Absolutely do need
Mhm.
it, but you can't come in there spreading this thing around.
Yeah.
I'm still concerned about the nursing homes. I understand that there's a very, very wide gap between those that are vaccinated and those that are not. See, Angela's back on line one. Hello, Angela.
Good morning. Good morning, Bishop.
How are you?
I'm
Morning.
doing wonderful. How are you?
All right, welcome to On Point. We've been saying all morning we're so tired, we're crazy, but it doesn't stop anything.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Pastor Nick.
Hi,
How
good
are you
morning.
feeling this morning?
Good. How are you?
I wanted to add my voice
Go
to
ahead.
the conversation about the women in church.
Absolutely.
As you know, I'm clergy,
Mm-hmm.
and I am 58.
Okay.
So that makes me a little bit older than Pastor Nick and a little bit younger than Bishop Evans. So I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit in the middle, leaning towards Bishop.
Okay.
And so I understand about the women that got pregnant in a certain era having to come before the church, and the men never had to.
Right.
And my mother was she wasn't a minister because she couldn't be in the Baptist church.
Right.
But she had the life. She led the life. She was very devout.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that she told us, which I'm not in agreement with, I'm just saying what she told us, that it's a man's job to ask, but it's a woman's job to say no.
Okay.
And she said, and her reasoning was, if a man goes out and soils his reputation, if he puts a suit on, he's still Mr. So-and-so. But if a woman does the same thing, her reputation is damaged and rarely gets repaired. So she had us, really walking a pretty fine line as far as our moral character. Now, I'm not saying we always met the standard. I'm just saying there was a standard.
You had
And,
one.
Pardon me?
I said you had one.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there's definitely a standard. And as I got old, I didn't like it because I felt like it wasn't fair. I was always the woman who got caught in the act of adultery. I was always upset about there was no man caught. So I gave her real problems, in that regard. But as I've gotten older, I have seen that what she said is true.
It is true.
And that there's a very different standard for women, and even to the pulpit. So
I
they don't
agree.
mind you coming forward to take the chair for a moral issue, but no way were you ever allowed in the pulpit.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
And I remember, Angela, our ministry coming under heavy criticism when we ordained our first female 29 years ago, was it?
Wow.
I took a lot of heat nationally. I had preachers call me and tell me I was going to hell.
Oh.
That was 28 years ago.
Well, those pastors are still alive and well, Bishop.
Well, I tell you what, I just couldn't find the thing that blew my mind, Angela, about that whole scenario was the ladies that were opposed to it.
Yeah.
So we were, we've always been pro women in our ministry, and like I said, 28 years ago we ordained our first woman. Didn't make her an evangelist to put a glass ceiling over her. We ordained her as a reverend.
Right.
And that really caused some stir in this state. But I realized that it was a common problem for females in ministry across the country. But I also heard that in Kentucky, among African American ministries, that there's still a lot of tradition that seeks to hinder ladies as it relates to ministry.
Absolutely.
Really?
There's one pastor here that I interviewed for a magazine, and he was one of the first pastors who ordained a woman. I think there may have been one or two more now, but he was the very first. And they definitely gave him the left for the fellowship. And he said so.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
he said so. He said that his even the women. Now, my mother, like I said, was a Sunday school teacher for like 40 years, and all of the male ministers had to come through her class before they were ordained.
Okay.
So common sense would tell you that was a woman that knew the word well enough to be ordained. But she fought me harder than anybody when I stepped forward to say that there was a call on my life.
Okay.
She was the one that I had the most resistance from, because that would have meant that all of those years she knew she was called, but she couldn't say anything about it.
Well, we recently ordained our first group of female deacons. And once again, I was shocked at the number of females that literally had many, many issues with that move.
Yeah.
And the ladies that we ordained have turned out, they're not deaconesses, they're deacons. The ladies we ordained have turned out to be some of the most phenomenal workers among the deacon ministry that we could ask for.
Right.
But we sat down and talked to them about the groundbreaking nature. But once again, in my hoping everybody's going to see it biblically, we had some great resistance from the females.
I have created, my roots are Baptist, but I minister anywhere God calls me, and I've created. My heart is to create a program, a online program called the Ephesians 4 Project for the Baptist ministers in the area. And when we meet privately about that, they're all on board, but they have to take it back to the church, and then I never hear from them again.
Well, because it happens to be something that can break your relationships. And a lot of us, and I'm talking about us male pastors, are not willing to chance that.
Yeah.
They're just, there's, like, we have a fellowship of churches, and the benefit to a pastor is amazing. The amount of attention and teaching that they get is really, really far exceeds a whole lot of other organizations. But a lot of pastors will not come with us because they're afraid of the perception of their relationships. They don't want to lose their relationships, so they stay away from something that's going to help them. So it's and I don't understand that, because all we're doing is teaching them the Bible. But
I know.
And when I approach them and tell them, now these are not 10 and 15 member churches. These are 3,000 member churches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these are huge churches.
Yeah, they're mega churches.
When I go to them, they say, "Well, no women have come forward." And I
don't believe that.
I would be hard-pressed to believe in a church this size there are no women that are called here.
Not unless the impression is given that call is not welcome.
Right.
We got to go, girl.
Okay, you have a great one.
You too.
Thank
now.
you.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. Let's go to D.C. and talk to Belva. Hey, Belva.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing, girl? I haven't talked to you in a while. You all right?
I'm blessed. Yes, sir. God got me.
All right now. What's your comment today?
Oh.
Turn your radio down, honey.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, because you're getting a delay there.
I'm going to turn it
There you go.
down.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's real good. I'm worried about you hearing yourself and laughing and stuff. Go ahead.
I do, and that part bothers me.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what I wanted to do is, I would like to say is that chivalry is not dead in D.C., which is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they open doors for you and everything. I'm not offended by it at all.
Good.
They take bags for you and everything. So at least in different parts of D.C., I'm not offended.
That's good.
They let you on the bus first. It's a lot of things that the males do, so it's not dead in D.C.
That's wonderful.
And I was surprised. I know, right? And I would like to say, it sounded like that you really wanted. It sounded like that you really wanted to have that game, or see that game, or go to that game with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just have it with you and a couple of friends, maybe 2 or 3 people or 4 people in your house, and just do it like a tailgate.
Well,
and just you and a couple of people just sit back and enjoy the game. Because it really sounds like you want to go to that game.
The live experience is different than on TV.
And we are not. We have had the opportunity. Pastor Nick and I have had the opportunity to go to some pretty significant games in our lives at some pretty significant stadiums. So we are. We're not pining away waiting to go to the game. But I appreciate your thought. But he gonna watch it where he is. I'm gonna watch it where I am, and we'll talk about it the next day.
Right.
I don't.
And both of us work at nighttime anyway, so it's
we don't.
something will happen.
And there'll be another game.
Yeah.
And my buddy will still be the agent for Mahomes, and we'll be able to go then too.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more thing to throw at you.
Go ahead, girl.
You and Pastor Nick sitting there right now. You ask one more person in your house like Pastor Nick, you can enjoy that game.
Girl, you got that stubborn gene.
Right,
Thanks for calling us, girl.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'll stop pushing that on.
All right. Talk to you soon.
I'll stop pushing that on you, and you all have a blessed day. And
You
God
too.
bless you. And something else about the men and the women.
Mm-hmm.
People are raised the best way that they can, and you do pick up little knacks along the way. Like women do this.
Yeah.
Even from your friends.
Yeah.
Even from your friends, if you don't get it taught at home, then you still pick it up from different people
That's
along
true.
the way. So it's a good thing. Some things you don't let pass you.
Yeah.
Like women should not do this, or men should not do this.
Yeah.
You should do this. Like even opening doors and stuff. If you hear something like that, take hold of it.
Yeah.
Open a door for a lady. If she refuses it, that's okay, because there's also a balance.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's neither female nor male as far as what the Bible talks about. But we are females, and men are males.
Thank you, Bill.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I got you. Thank you so much.
Okay, please explain that.
I'll talk to you later now. Bye-bye.
I'm pretty sure it didn't come across right, but you all have a blessed day.
We got it.
And enjoy your weekend.
You
God
too.
bless and keep
Bye-bye
you.
now. Bye-bye. Let's go to, hey, Vicky from Shawnee, Oklahoma. How you doing? Vicky. Let's see if we can get her back. Carol, how you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, is this Carol or is it Vicky?
This is Carol.
Hi, Carol. Good morning.
Good morning. My question is, what makes the pulpit sacred to the point where women are not allowed to walk on it?
I never understood that nonsense anyway. I don't know how you can clean it at night and then can't walk in it on Sunday morning. It makes no sense to me.
Mm.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, but there are so many churches.
I know.
If
I know.
I have to give an announcement, I have to give it on the floor.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I've always used this example. So a volunteer lady can shine the pulpit, vacuum the carpet, put the flowers on it if they have it, but can't stand on it. It makes no sense to me.
None at all.
So, as a pastor, when you speak with your pastor friends, what do they say when they don't allow it?
I don't have pastor friends that have that discipline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that might be part of my problem too.
Good for you. Well,
yeah,
good for you. That was my question.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
God bless you now. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
That was Carol. Now is Vicky back? She's on 3. Vicky, is that you?
Yes, Bishop. it's
Hi.
me.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Pastor Nick?
I'm doing well. How are you?
What's your comment? We got about 2 minutes, girl.
Okay, real quick. You were talking about women having positions in the church.
Yes, ma'am.
Here in Oklahoma, in rural areas, because a lot of people have moved away to bigger cities like Oklahoma City or Tulsa,
Mm-hmm.
The rural churches have more women in it, and there may only be one man or no men.
Okay.
So it's ideal that, women would hold positions. But even here in Oklahoma, the women won't step up. They say that that's a man's position.
Really?
And if they, if they're married to the deacon, then they get to be the deaconess.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to hold a position as deacon, that's not looked upon very favorably.
Okay. Now.
So we have a lot of churches down here that have, maybe one or two or no men in it.
Okay.
So I agree with what you're saying, because otherwise, the churches that I have visited, I'm like, okay, this is why, your membership is down, and the pastor is basically doing everything himself.
It makes no sense to have gifted people sitting in the congregation and they not have the opportunity to work in the ministry. We can't, on one hand, quote, God is not a respecter of person. We can't throw the scripture usurping authority over a man. If a man is not gifted and called to a position, then a woman is not usurping his authority. It doesn't make any sense. There's just so much. But what actually happened, and I'm probably going to get in trouble. I haven't been in trouble for a while, so it's good. It's ridiculous to think that a woman could carry a baby named Jesus for 9 months and then not be commissioned to talk about him once he's born in her. It makes no sense. It's
and women have run households.
Well, of course they have.
We tell men that they're head of the house, but when you leave them, at home with the kids, they don't know what to cook, what to do.
That's certain men.
That's certain men. That ain't all of us. No. But let's use a biblical example. Right. I'm gonna help you out right now. Let's use biblical.
Ain't all of us. Yeah.
So Deborah was not a prophetess because she was married to a prophet. That wasn't the reason she was a prophetess. She was also not in her position because of who she was married to. She led Israel to the point that the captain of the army, the leader of the army, said, "I'm not going to battle without you."
Yep.
So if she could run 3 million folk, I think she could run 100. But it's just a matter of, and this is males and females, are we authentically called or have we just come?
Yep.
And I think our problem is the title.
Yes, ma'am.
If the woman could do that same position without the title, it seems to, be the problem.
But I think it's wrong. A man would not want to be denied the title for the function, so why should a woman be denied the title for the function?
Exactly. But we have problems because we have people in positions with titles that are not qualified, even in the corporate world.
And that brings us all the way back around to what we were talking about at the top of the program. The daughters of Zelophehad were not in God's will because they were merely female. Exactly. The Bible says they were right. The Bible says that God said their cause was right.
Yes.
So as males or females, we should not be elevated because of our gender. We should be elevated because our cause is correct.
Exactly.
We got to go.
All right.
Thank you for calling in.
Later.
All right. Bye-bye now. Now, there's Tammy from Wadsworth, Illinois. Tammy, we're going to need you to call us back. We have run out of time. Please call us back first thing next Saturday at 9 a.m. I want everybody to meet us today at 11:30 for our outdoor encounter experience as we're talking about heaven on earth, the kingdom. Tomorrow we have a full day.
Yep.
We have our 8 o'clock encounter. Our 9:45 to 10:45 is our Engage Live. 11 a.m. is our second encounter of the day. And then at 6, we're having our communion encounter outdoors. You want to join us. Drive down 6 o'clock. You might want to get here a little early. drive down and enjoy Holy Communion with us outside as we minister from the stage outside and the lights and all that. It's going to be a wonderful time in the Lord. If you have a prayer request, send it to social@gotobethany.com. That's social@gotobethany.com. And of course, we always invite you to join us on David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ. That's David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. And our podcast platforms, which is DGEMS, DGEMS, and OnPointe, our podcast platforms. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and see you next time on OnPointe.